modernise or decline. So that's the choice. That's a simple choice, modernise or decline.
We knew that it all had to be done for the 31st of March 2012.
There were not enough days in order to do it.
Nobody had ever attempted anything of this size and scale before.
The Royal Mail had this albatross round its shoulders of the pension deficit. I came up with three main recommendations, and the first one was that the Royal Mail was going to need private sector capital and was going to need strategic partnerships with people who had done it before. The second recommendation was that the Royal Mail had this albatross round its shoulders of the pension deficit, and clearly that had to be sorted out. The third recommendation was that the regulation and the regulatory framework of the Royal Mail was not right, and that needed sorting out.
We've got 150,000 people, current employees, who are in the pension scheme, and this pension scheme has got a massive eye-watering deficit, and it's at one point it was touching £11 billion. The government's intention is to sell Royal Mail Group, and that's what we're all working towards. Clearly, in order to enable that sale, it had to resolve the pension issue. The Postal Services Act was only passed in the summer of 2011, and this all had to be implemented by April 2012.
Nobody had ever attempted anything of this size and scale before, to actually take a live plan with almost 400,000 records and then actually say, well, we need to duplicate that in part where there'll be historic liability run by government, and the other part by Royal Mail pension trustees. So what we had to do was basically re-engineer all of our processes so that our administration could actually cope with two customers.
What we wanted from Steria was to deliver this important project to us to time and accurately. So it was a massive change in the arrangements. Now what Steria did was they located some people with us in Chesterfield, had some people in India, and that meant effectively we had 2 working days every day because of the time difference between the countries, where we were able to keep things running. So looking at the problem from the outset and saying, how on earth are we going to get all of this done in this short period of time, Steria came up with a solution there.
We'll work alongside some very gifted people from Steria who are pragmatists and believe in the art of the possible. Because to come back to us and say you need a brand new system to do this, and by the way it'll take you 3 years to do it, that was never up for grabs. It was about what can we do with what it is that we've got now in the time that we've got available to us.
Quite early on I got a good level of confidence from Steria. We had some good programme management put in there to work with them. They were very clear about what could be delivered and how they were going to deliver it. They were very clear about the areas that they felt could be prioritised to later on in the programme. And there was a very good, thorough dialogue going on which made me believe they had identified all of the issues. This project was absolutely essential for our future, our credibility as a company, as well as for protecting the pensions of 400,000 people.
I don't think we could have done it with any other partner other than Steria, who knew us, who knew what we wanted to do, but more importantly respected the colleagues that they worked with for what they could bring to the party.
It hasn't actually felt like we've been working with a supplier, it's felt like we've been working with a partner. And what Steria brought to the table, as far as I was concerned, was the ability to get in quickly, understand what the issues were, help us to prioritise those issues, and to work as part of the team to come up with some solutions against some pretty tough timescales.